All right, welcome back for another edition of Live from Redhook here at the Function House. I'm Mike Gentile, along here with Anthony Vitale. And tonight, we want to welcome to the Function House and to our Live from Redhook series, DJ Camz.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Welcome.
Welcome to Redhook.
Thank you for having
From
me.
New Rochelle to Redhook.
Westchester in the
Westchester
building.
in the house.
Westchester. I'm from Westchester. You remember that?
Marisa.
Yeah. I'm from
Video was
Westchester.
great. So what's up, man?
Nothing much, man.
Hit traffic on the way here?
A little bit. We had to go through the city, FDR all the way down. You know, there's always traffic
At
in
this
FDR.
time, yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you would come in rush hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it on time.
Yeah,
Ready to go.
Yeah. So talk to us, man. How'd you get into DJing?
I was always into the nightlife scene since I was like 13, 14 years old. I remember attending my first teen night party in Westchester. It's called the Palladium in New Rochelle. And
So you were promoting the Palladium in New
yeah,
Rochelle.
the Palladium, Razoo.
You know about the Palladium in New York City?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course. And yeah, so
The New Rochelle one was a big deal when they
Yeah,
opened
it
it up.
was
Trying to steal some of the thunder
crazy.
from the Palladium closing down in Manhattan.
They changed their name though, right? After
They probably had to change
Yeah.
their name, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I know
it
they
was-
were open for a couple of years as the Palladium, right?
it was called Palladium, then it changed their name, and then there was another club in New Rochelle called Deep
Yep.
and Hollywood.
Yep.
And then they had like their small bars on North Avenue of New Rochelle, which is one of the main roads that had like their local bars and stuff like that. So
Sure.
I was always sneaking in, and you know, I had a friend at the time that was over 21, so I was using his ID. To this day, I call him like my twin because we look exactly alike, but we're not related. I think he's like Ecuadorian and I'm Mexican, so it's like whatever. It
I
worked.
always have that friend with. I had the ID also.
Yeah, but I was like, I think when I was like 16, and he was like maybe 23, 24.
If I use that fake ID now, I'm like 50.
I never had the fake ID because I lost my hair when I was like 18.
So you're
They're like, let this
So,
guy in.
This guy's got no
Yeah.
hair. He must be like
Yeah.
40.
And then you know how it works. You get friendly with promoters and bouncers and stuff like that, and then it just became routine. Oh, what's up? Yeah, you're cool.
So you were promoting clubs first.
Promoting clubs.
And so
s-
who was
attending
that?
The parties
Yeah.
and stuff
So
like that.
so you started DJing the parties you were promoting.
No, I didn't start DJing till like bedroom DJing, because it wasn't even like official. Like I wasn't even like.
You took like a hiatus too for a little while,
Yeah,
right?
so what
Talk to us
happened-
about why you did that.
So when I first started actually learning how to mix and everything like that, it was like the CD era. So it was like you carry like the books of CDs, and it was like the little Newmark button thing and stuff
Yep.
like that. You had to learn all the counts and pause and then go, stuff like that. So my mom's one of my mom's friends at the time, he took me out to this bar, and it wasn't like the high end bars. It was like hole in the walls, like we call them $2 spots, where like girls dance with $2 and the guy dances with them for $2 a song.
Right.
So I was learning from that, and then I was out all hours of the night, like 5 in the morning, and I was still going to school. So one night I went out on Thursday, I remember, it was like Friday, I had to go to school, and I was like, no, I'm not going to school, I'm tired, I'm not getting up. And she was that was it. She was like, you're not doing this anymore.
No more DJing for you.
No more DJing. You're strictly school, finish school, and then after that, I don't care what you do. After that, you're on your own. You can do whatever you want.
That's it.
So I took like a big break, but it was like I always had the virtual DJ on my home computer, and like
You're still keeping up with the music.
yeah, I was still down LimeWire and then Napster and all that stuff, putting viruses on my computer. It was a shared home computer, so I remember like the computer not working, and my brother and somebody flipping
Yelling
out, like,
at you, yeah.
what the hell are you downloading now? Stop downloading this.
We know it wasn't the music. We know it was the porno.
Yeah, all that, all that extra stuff, right? Yeah, and I still had the virtual DJ on. I would practice here and there, but it was always in my bedroom. It never became like a real thing till like 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 18 years old, you started taking it more seriously.
Yeah, doing more stuff, like getting more involved into it, like doing my own parties, throwing my own teen nights and stuff like that. Because at the time, my mom used to work for a nightclub as a co-check. So it used to called Shakers, right in front of Palladium, where Palladium is.
Okay.
Right across the street, there was a bar called Shakers. It was, back then, I think it was called Lollipop as well. It was like real popular. Then it turned to like a Spanish place called Clave. And I was throwing my teen nights there. And I was throwing house parties in my apartment, and then throwing teen nights. So it was like 100 people in like a little house. and just like
That's it. You got the bug from that.
yeah, and that, and it was like, yo.
So
and
you
I-
were DJ slash baller slash
yeah,
businessman,
slash-
right?
Yeah, and I never thought about it as like a business idea. It was always like, yo, I just want to throw a banger. Let's throw a banger. And all my friends would be like, yo, let's throw a banger. All right, yeah. Like, whose house are we throwing a banger? Like, oh, then we got this abandoned house in New Rochelle, and it was like weird because we called it Vegas because anything went in that house. Like,
Oh, I can only imagine.
it was
what
3
went down in that.
floors, attic. It was like crazy. Like the basement was like the nightclub because the speakers were bumping and everything like that. And like,
And nobody bothered you?
no, the cops came once because they got out of hand because the house is an abandoned house, so everyone would cut school, go there, smoke weed, and do whatever. And then it just got like, we would show up to throw a party and be like random people in there, like, all right, hey, how you?
Squatters.
Word is getting out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like people from like a town next door, like, or like from other places. I'm like, oh, hey.
So the house had electricity and stuff?
Electricity, running water, like the toilets were. I mean, the toilets were disgusting because teenagers don't care. But yeah, and then it just got real sloppy at the end, and then now it's like they tore the house down. It's like a building now, like a high-rise building. I'm like, all right, but yeah, that throwing
Maybe you should start throw parties in the high-rise building.
Yeah, I should, right? Like rent out a penthouse and just throw a sick banger.
So what was that first party you did that you wanted to make this a career for yourself?
It was like I remember. It wasn't even a party. I remember I went to a nightclub in Yonkers called Razuz, and I walked in, and it was like the final chapter had just like started ringing. So it was like da-na-na-na-na-na-na, and I remember seeing the kids raving like with the glow sticks and the shoelaces.
I used to use the glow
with
sticks.
the glow sticks,
Yeah. No, I wasn't a
shoelaces
glow
out
stick.
doing the butterfly. So I actually learned how to do all that. Like I would sit in my room and practice. Like,
Used to
and-
put them on the strings.
Yeah, on the
used to
strings,
wear
yeah.
ski goggles.
Yeah,
And then
the
you
whole,
have
the
them,
whole
like,
thing.
just sort of going
Just
crazy.
sewing, and then it just became a thing. It's like, oh, John knows how to rave and be in the middle of the circle, just dancing.
So you were one of those guys
Yeah,
that
it was
used to
like,
go
oh,
crazy
yeah,
with
it's
those?
like-
Because some of those guys were incredible.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah.
I never got that nice for it. I could never like go behind my back and then like jump through it. And
I
stuff
remember
like
there was
that.
guys in Limelight. They used to have like the plane. Bring
Yeah,
the planes in,
yeah,
and they used to have those on stage.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
seen
there was
that
a guy
one
at
time.
Palladium that used to do that. The
Yeah.
Palladium in Manhattan. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like,
That was a time where it was like, yo, that guy, that's cool, you know.
Yeah.
You go to a club and you go to One Oak now or something, you start
yeah,
whipping
you know,
those things
like,
around.
What the hell you doing? The bouncers are on. You're like,
Oh,
They'll throw you out.
Yeah.
Get this
I mean,
guy
like,
out of
What the
here.
fuck is this guy doing?
yeah, those were the times. And then I remember I look up and I'm like, oh, like who's DJing? And I see like DJ. It was like Serge, I think, at the time, and like he's had his headphones on, and I snuck up there and I'm like, yo, like I'm looking. He's got like, remember the huge racks? It wasn't like a simple setup like that. It was like 4 or 5, and then like another thing, and like something to control the volume, and I was like intrigued. I'm like, oh, like all right, cool. And then and now that was like right at the time where it's like switching over to like virtual DJ and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, like a free trial. I remember virtual DJ used to give you like a 3-month trial. So I downloaded it on the home screen. I was like, oh, okay. Like I was never good though. I sucked.
Yeah, nobody was.
Yeah, I mean that's how you start out, right?
Yeah, and then from that I went to like the whole like house phase because I was the final chapter, like Tiesto, the trans era. And I remember being Spanish and like where I used to hang out with all kinds of kids, black kids, white kids. I was always like bouncing around. Like I had a group of friends. I had friends everywhere.
Right.
To this day, I still do. I have friends that play Pokemon, and I have friends that DJ. Then I have like industry friends, and I try to be cool with everybody, you know. But yeah, it was like crazy, and then I picked it up and started little by little, started practicing.
So you first came into the scene on like as house DJ.
Yeah, as a house DJ, I wanted to be an Oscar G and a Boris and an Eric Murillo, like just tech house, techno, and I was all about bro, it's not a vibe, like.
Yeah.
And then I went to Dub Spy in New York City, and JP Solis, my teacher at the time, was like, "Dude, you speak Spanish?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Why wouldn't you want to play anything else?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I want to be a house DJ." He's like, "No, like why don't?" He goes, he put it. He was honest. He was like, "Listen, you want to be a house DJ? It's gonna take you twice as hard to be a like open format DJ. Like at least now you can like start getting your name out, start playing different things.
Yeah.
House DJ, you're gonna have to probably move out of New York, make a record, or
It's about production, really.
yeah,
Yeah, there's more versatility as an open format guy because you can work so many different types of venues. You can work
Yeah.
private events, and
At least living here in New York, I
Yeah.
think it's
And
there
it-
is more room for growth as an open format DJ.
and it builds your musical knowledge base.
Yeah,
where
so-
then you could leverage that, even when you're doing house music. If you start producing and doing stuff like
Yeah,
that,
so
that's
when he was like, no, let's mold you into something a little more than just a house DJ. He's like, you understand the languages. You could play hip hop. You can play or reggaeton, all the Spanish stuff. Like let's venture outside of the house music. He's like, I listen to you the way you play. I think you could able to play something else. I'd be honest if you didn't know how to play, like, and yeah. So
So you went to dubstep. You went there.
Dubspot.
You went there already knowing how to DJ.
Yeah, because I had a friend at that time. Shout out to DJ Mike. He's a LMP DJ as well. He like taught me the count, and stuff like that. And I remember getting so frustrated at him because he didn't teach me about edits at the time. Like, oh, there's edits and there's music for DJs, already set up for you to go. So he was like, no, you have to count the music, you have to count the bars, you have to do this.
That's
do
good that he taught you that.
Yeah,
way.
he's like, I remember he was like, don't even buy a laptop yet. I'll tell you when to buy a laptop. And I was like, all right, cool. And he's my age, but he's been doing this since before me. Like, I think he was like 15 years old, but by choice, by necessity. He didn't. It wasn't a choice for him. Like he had a kid at the time, real young, so he like kind of took it as like this is his job. Like, so that's why he's amazing. Like to this day, I'm like, dude, you're awesome, dude. Like, why aren't you like bigger than what you are? That's the way the dice roll. But yeah, so he taught me the counts, all like no edits, just original. Use original. Learn how to mix it in. Learn how to cue, drop out, drop cut, this and that.
So was he teaching you with regular vinyl?
Regular vinyl, and then we would use his laptop, and he would cover the screen. I remember he put a towel over it in my mom's basement, and he was like, "Don't look at the laptop. Don't look at the laptop." And he was like, and I would get so frustrated because practicing 6-7 hours straight, and you can't do one simple blend. And I'm like, all right, I'm like, fuck this.
But you
And
just
then-
keep doing it,
Yeah,
and then
doing
one
it,
day it
doing
just
it.
clicks.
And then one day you're like, oh.
That's how.
That's
it
what I was
happens.
supposed to be doing for the past 5 years.
Yeah, and then I would like try to make a mix and listen to it over again and like listen. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then one day I was like, finally, like, oh, and I showed him. I was like, yo, is this how you do it? He goes, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes you can just use sometimes people grab it really fast.
And then sometimes-
But it like back in the day when we started DJing, where there was no Serato or no CDs and it was just vinyl, you were just throwing yourself in a room and you were just like throwing
Practice.
2 records together, and it's just like nobody was telling you what to do, and then you just one day you just
Trying to
figure
make it
out.
sound good.
That's
Yeah.
it. And then I started catching on. Like, virtual DJ had the little bars, like a fat bar, skinny bar, fat bar, skinny bar, fat bar, skinny bar. Then when I finally already knew the counts and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, like that kind of, oh, that's what that's there for.
Yeah.
And then gradually I moved over to Serato DJ. I tried Tractor, but it was just way too much. Like this,
Yeah.
at the time, it was like too much for me. I'm like, yeah, it's simple.
So who are some of the DJs that inspire you now?
There's a long list, man. New York, the Marty Rocks, the Beat Breakers, Rick Wonder, Chachi, all those guys, man. I'm like, that's where I want to get to, like, just moving. These guys are moving, and then like just all over the world, the Jazzy Jeffs and stuff like that, like all those guys. Just in general, anybody that's doing work, and even if they're not like big world DJs, it's like, dude, like that's amazing because you guys are, that's what I want to do full time. Like,
You want to be signed to an agency.
yeah, signed to an agency. If I don't get signed, just be able to build relationship with these kind of people. It's like, I want to be a traveling DJ. Like, I've always had, if I ever end up on the radio, I'll end up on the radio. But my goal was always to be a Vice or, something like that. Be in Miami one day, New York the next day, LA, back to Miami, back to New York, Chicago, stuff like that. I've always wanted to move around and touch as many people as I can.
Yeah.
That's why I came up with the Camz will make them dance.
So, I mean, for people who are just tuning in or people who are watching, the month of August is dedicated to young and up-and-coming DJs. So you're actually the first DJ to kick off the month of August.
I appreciate it. You
Right.
guys have a lot of talent coming up, man.
And you had some good graces sort of, in your corner.
Oh,
DJ Shortcuts sort of
That's,
you know,
I've been lucky to have like
vouched for you.
You
short.
got a good man in your corner.
Yeah.
So I have a lot, man. It's like weird the way I ended up because I have like so many industry friends and like that reached out and molded me, like Shortcuts, DJ Quiz. Shout out to DJ Quiz, Jeezy's tour DJ. I met DJ Quiz. This is a funny story. I was throwing my own parties in New Rochelle when I finally became a full-time DJ. I finally had the courage to say, all right, I could DJ my own party. Let me throw my own party. So I threw this party in New Rochelle called the Red Room.
Like a boss, he threw his own.
Yeah, I
party.
threw my own party because no one was getting work. I didn't even know how to reach out to people and be like, hey, I'm a DJ. Can I DJ your thing? So I threw my own party and packed it out. And it was like in the beginning of summer. We ran through it all summer long. Every Friday, it was just like turn up Fridays. And I remember I don't even remember how much I was getting paid. I just remember getting drunk every Friday. Like playing music. And
That was the goal.
That was the goal. I had just turned 21, so I was just alcohol and me playing my favorite records. That's it.
Yep.
And people having a blast. I don't even know if I was good or not. I wish I would have recorded something from back then because I might have not been. And it was like during like the big EDM scene when it was just blowing up. So I'm sure I played the whole night, like bunch of house, big room stuff. Like
How often are you keeping up with social media, posting pictures and stuff like that?
social media is big, like is huge. Like I try to be on it every day, at least pushing my page, pushing my brand and stuff like that because it's free. I always tell everyone like, why aren't you moving your Instagram? Like people like even if you don't notice it, people are going through there. You never know who's watching you and seeing where they can take you to the next step. Like you might have an agency watching your page. Like all right, this kid might blow up. Let me keep him on ice. Just watch him, see where he's going. And it's free. Why wouldn't you want to push your own brand if it's free? If it's not costing you any money.
Yep.
So that's why I always see like people are like, oh no, I don't post that much. Why? Tell me why though. Like, it's free. You're not paying for it. It's already there.
Well, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Keeping up with social media.
Yeah, it is. They get so mad at me because I'm like, oh, I'm going to the city. I got to take more pictures I need to have more material. I need to have this. I need to have that. I try to do mixes at least like 4 or 5 a month just to have on my Mixcloud just to stay fresh and stuff like that. But it's a lot of work and juggling a full-time job and a family and family time and friend time and DJing and reaching out to people. Like I was out to dinner last night and I'm texting back and forth with a promoter. And I felt bad because I realized, like, all right, I'm on my phone and my family's there, like, having dinner with me. I haven't seen them in, like, a month. And, like, let me just put my phone down. He can wait. But we operate at different times. Like, you guys are, like, goats in the industry, so you guys know. Like, a promoter will be up at 2 in the morning. You'll close the deal at 3 in the morning. Like,
yeah, of course.
And then it's like, all right, what happens if I was sleeping at 3 in the morning? Like,
Yeah.
So I always sleep with one eye open, one ear open.
Well,
to get that.
It's really about like how bad you really want something.
Yeah.
And how much work and time and effort you're going to put in to actually get it. And it's about politicking and networking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and don't think an agency is going to do all that for you.
Oh no.
You perfect example is you got a guy like Shortcuts who's not signed to an agency,
and
and
I
he's
don't know
murdering the
why.
game right now.
I have no
and he
idea
doesn't
why.
play that much. He only plays a couple of times.
No,
He's only doing about
He's only
35
about
dates a
30
week.
dates.
he's only in Vegas every other weekend and
No,
back
but-
to St. Martin.
He's
and
a perfect example
Yeah.
of what I'm saying.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's a guy who has honed his craft.
Yeah.
He's a good DJ, and he's been at it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And he gave up a business that he had cutting hair.
Yeah, I remember
to
that.
solely focus on one thing, and you see what it's doing.
And it's paying off, man.
Yep.
I want to be like. It was like, oh, like your Shortcuts' man. Yeah. Eventually I want to get to Shortcuts' level because I was looking at his calendar like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, yo, he's booked all the way to October, November. Like I'm like
Counting those chips.
counting the chips and everything because I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like, and it's not even like oh, private party. No, it's like One Oak, LA, One Oak, Vegas. The other one he does in Vegas. It's like he's in St. Martin, and he's coming back and going back West, and then he's like going over Europe, and I'm like, dude.
I bet she's tired.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He's definitely tired. But it's a pure example of when you become so good, they can't ignore you.
Yeah.
And if you just focus on your lane and don't worry about what everybody else is doing, it paves itself.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I mean, sometimes you get discouraged as an up and coming DJ, and like a lot of us, like
It's tough right now. There's a lot of people,
And-
a lot of DJs.
and you know, sometimes you look, you're like, damn, like we started at the same time, and he's here and he's there. But then again, that's the luck of the game. You know, that's
Yeah,
why we're playing
you
it.
can't look at what they're doing.
Yeah, but it's like every up and coming DJ wishes they were there already, or like stuff like that. But like all my mentors tell me, yo, just relax. It'll get there when the time is right for
Yeah.
you. Like there's been times that I wanted to do something, and they're like, no, that's not the right move right now. Just and they're probably right. You know, probably my skills are not there, or you know, my dealing with that kind of person, because you have to learn how to deal with a ton of people, like all kinds of industry people, from like the bottom guy to the top guy. And you have to know their language and stuff like that. So,
Well, I think like a show like this, live from Redhook, what's good about the Function House is it could sort of give a DJ a reality check.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a ton of DJs come here and bless these decks, and then as a DJ watching, you know, you say to yourself like, wow, I got a lot of work to do in sort of this area,
Yeah.
or maybe I could brush up on this, and like, wow, I never thought about those records. And I think that this show is a good education for up and coming DJs and established DJs, because you get to see how other people are playing, what they're playing, how they're playing it. And I think you can never stop learning in any craft.
oh no, you can't.
And that's what this platform is here for.
That's why I always watch you guys, and like I'll be at the gym. If I don't get a chance to watch it on a Tuesday night, I'll replay the shows, and I work out for an hour long, and I'm watching the whole show. So
That's it.
Tell you working out, kid.
nah, I'm getting skinny. I used to be 200 pounds, man. So.
What are you
That's
going
all
vegan
that,
on us?
No. The guy in the back is vegan. He's soft.
It's my man right there.
Yeah, he's
That's
soft.
all the Italian cooking of your.
I married an Italian wife, but I might get in trouble. She don't cook. She knows. She knows how to.
Yo, this is gonna be online forever.
I know. She knows it. I mess with her all the time. You know. I mean, little by little, I only got married a year and like 3 months ago, but little by little, she's getting it. I mean. If not, we just go to her parents' house. Her parents' food is just as good. Or the grandmas, they're just as
That's
good.
it, grandma's meatballs.
Yeah, that's it.
So you put a little set together for us?
Yeah, I put a little, like I said, when I first started, I wanted to be a house DJ, so I'll play a little house for you guys first, and then see where we go from there.
All right, cool, man.
All right,
Thanks
awesome.
for coming down.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
We're going to
for
take a
letting me
2-minute
touch it.
break,
Thanks, man.
and we're going to get Camz up on the set.
I hope it's like the Michael Jordan movie when I touch the set, all the skills coming to me. Thanks, guys.
Peace.